Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about teamwork because, in particular, as it affects me, because of the diversity of my responsibilities, there is simply no way that I can possibly know enough about all of the subjects that I'm supposed to deal with without a great deal of help. So my organization is my team. It is apparent that there will be an ever-increasing need for teamwork because as the work becomes more specialized, we are going to become much more interdependent. It certainly does make the job a lot more fun to have good relations with the members of the team, and each of you can get the satisfaction of doing a job, and a particularly important job, well, because the total is a good deal more than the simple accumulation of each of our parts.
Well, I would say teamwork is critical in the financial planning that I do because my work is dependent upon input from other people, and I can't begin my work until I receive that information and data. And then again, other groups are affected by what I do, so I'm holding them up if I don't, if we're not participating.
And although I haven't had a chance to explore the teamwork of this department here, I've had the opportunity to work with various other departments in the things that I've worked on. I've worked with the FAC group out at Brookfield Square. I'm also on the Ameritech Task Force for Non-Recurring Charges. It's been very interesting. Everybody is very supportive, and I really enjoy this job because not only are they supportive, but they are also confident in the fact that I can do the job, which is something that was a little bit short at the other jobs that I've had.
Well, Mary here is our designated hitter. She's the one that has to get in the hot seat out at the Public Service Commission in connection with our access case. Bart Picorni here is one of our major lead team members. Jim Galley, myself, we've all been trying to do whatever we can to get Mary ready for this case, and we're in the process now of just packing up our final materials to take along to Madison, so we'll have the necessary backup material in the event questions arise.
This effort that we've all been involved in is really going to pay off. This is probably the best example of teamwork that I've seen around here in a long time. We've all put in a lot of long hours in preparation and covered almost every angle we can possibly cover, and I think it's going to work.
Teamwork is very important in our work. We need to interface with various engineering groups such as central office engineers, traffic engineers, outside plant engineering, a lot of marketing groups to get input and information into many of our studies. For example, I just recently completed the ICES study, Incremental Cost of Exchange Services study, and needed to interface with many groups within the company and within our own department. Not only are we interfacing with groups within the company, but also with various groups within Ameritech. The other regional companies have very similar groups such as ours, and we need to interface with them, so we present a unified proposal for Ameritech to the U.S. government for the FTS 2000 project.
I work on DRP CES, and to get my job done, I have to work with 3 or 4 other groups, one of them being GRAMA and one of them being TETIS, and the information they feed me on tapes has to be correct, so you have to work with these groups very carefully. You talk with them a lot, you make a lot of calls, and if they feed you the wrong information, my study's bad, so therefore you have to cooperate with them to get your work done. And the cooperation between the groups has been very good. If I have a problem, they'll look at it, give a call back. If they have a problem with what they're giving me, I don't know what they're giving me, they'll call me and we'll work with them. And it's the only way that I can get my job done because they feed into my computer program and what they give me has to be correct.
I think teamwork is pretty essential when you're working on something, and a lot of things we work on are things that we're kind of groping for answers, and when you have somebody that you can talk with about things, you're able to gain insight into the things and problems that you face and arrive at solutions quicker. I'm very much in favor of two-man teams or three-man teams where you can gain different perspectives on the different issues that you face or the different problems that you want to solve.
Okay. On the 911 project, for example, we are currently working with legal, marketing, network, and various other departments in the company to work through the legislation that needs to be prepared for 911 services so that Milwaukee County can obtain 911. Serving as the contact to the Public Service Commission, I need to rely on other department personnel to give me information that I can provide to the Public Service Commission staff. The Commission staff often asks for cost support and also market information that I need to obtain from other personnel.
You brought up the subject of teamwork, and I think it's been very important in the work that I've done in the rates department for the last 3.5 years. I joined this group in '83, and what I have noticed is a tremendous increase in the amount of teamwork that is carried on when a project is initiated and carried to completion. Now when an issue comes up, we often find ourselves trying to find the right people within various groups in the company to address any potential problem or subject that might come up related to that issue before we make that decision. And it does tend to slow the process slightly, but I think we get a better decision out of it. Case in point is shared tenant services. The issue came up in a docket in 1985. We had to act on that, file a tariff that we felt would be acceptable to us and to the Commission. And with the help of the product management group, the market management group, the service cost people, we were able to put together a tariff that was accepted almost in its entirety.
I have found, being one of the coordinators for this year's department meeting, that teamwork is essential. With the 3 different schedules we have, Mike Cornelius, Mickey Herman, and myself, constantly being in and out of the offices and having to coordinate small details, it's important to work as a team.
And I think probably right now, teamwork is more important in our environment than it has ever been before. In what we do here within the separations district, we are interacting and interrelating more with the other districts within our department than probably we ever have before in the past. It's extremely important for us now to be very, very involved with the Service Costs Organization in preparing for our interstate tariff filings, and also within our own division to be working very, very closely with both Gordy and Keith in the various things they're doing in the intrastate arena.
Hi, I'm Larry Burns, and I'm a data business analyst. I normally work over in the data systems area, and I do mechanization with people from outside the user group, but now we're instituting a new policy where I will actually move in with the user group and work more closely during the more intense parts of the project. So on a daily basis, I will be here talking with users and developing the project, and it will save a lot of time as far as driving down on the shuttle or talking on the phone, and I can intermingle with the users and find out more about the projects and make the end result a much better process.
Okay, basically in Summit service cost work, as far as teamwork is concerned, it's one of the prime drivers of our work here. We have to interface with engineering, marketing, and other outside plant distribution groups to formulate all of the components of a specific customer DBS network. We gather those costs together, run them through our models, and some of these projects really get interesting in the fact that the customer is changing their mind. And when the customer changes their mind, that means the engineering people have to change the design. And so there are constant iterations of service cost methods and work going through the system. Now another project I'm on is the FTS 2000 network. That is teamwork on a large scale like I've never imagined before. Here I've got 4 other states I've got to work with. 4 other states that have really never had to work together
before in their history. You know, if it had been split apart for 100 years and you did your own thing your own way. Not in this case. This is another bid that we're all trying to come together on and produce a service cost study which is consistent with the 5 companies.
Teamwork helps us work more efficiently because of the synergism of teamwork. That is, the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. The 1986 depreciation study was a good example of this, where the subject matter experts from other departments helped the capital recovery experts here, and the end result was a very successful depreciation study.
Basically, I guess I'm on what they call the summit team for Wisconsin Bell. That involves both the marketing and engineering departments. So basically, if we have a large customer that comes in, say like a First Wisconsin or a Kimberly-Clark, we will receive information from the central office engineers and strategic long-range planners for outside plant. Based upon those factors, we develop cost, incremental cost. What is the minimum price we can offer the service to that customer and still keep them online? So I guess the teamwork involves in the fact that we have a fast response times. We have to turn around the information in a matter of weeks rather than a couple of months to respond.
Teamwork through QWL promotes a healthier and happier place for employees to work. And it was a fine idea that management accepted QWL because they too want employees to be happier. And a happier person at work does better work.
Well, I think that teamwork is really a sharing of responsibility, and I think that our organization is in a very unique position to practice it. It seems to me that most of the work that we do here, we do in support of someone else, and that our overall success has to be measured by the success of the project. Now, I haven't been here all that long, but I've seen people cancel their vacations. They've worked long overtime hours. They've changed their personal plans, anything that needed to be done to ensure the success of the project. And we're learning a lot in this new leadership management training, but I think we already know a lot about teamwork.
And I think probably right now, teamwork is more important in our environment than it has ever been before. And I think as we proceed, the theme of cooperation and working together will become even more important.
How about a joke for us, Walt?
I'll do that now. We'll do that later.
My job is one that the things that I do not get to interface with a lot of the people in this department. Cut.
Well, I'm holding them up if I don't, if we're not participating with each other. Is that good enough? You want me to keep talking, or what do you want me to do?
Can I just start again then? I like my teamwork as synergy part. Can I do that one again? Teamwork helps us work more. Should I start moving around? Teamwork helps us work more efficiently because of the synergism of teamwork. That is, the whole is greater than the sum of the parts.
And John, by the way, sharing, if this turns out to be a success, what's my take on this paper?
You get a copy.
I get a copy, okay.
Teamwork is very important in our work. We need to interface with and needed to interface with not only are we interfacing with groups within the company, but we need to interface with them so and I'm interfacing with many of the personnel.
You can move your hand from your face if
I didn't want to do that. I always keep my hand in
Now
my
looks
front
like
of my
you're
face.
working here. It's weird stuff.
Okay.
Move the pencil around a little
That-
bit, though. That's good.
not talk to each other or something.
Our new director here.
This is lifelike. I get hacked.
That's fine.
I get hacked.
That's all we need.
You can't say that.
Okay. Teamwork's very important to my job. I don't want to. I got to start over.
Relax. There's no. I can edit anything.
This is rolling. I'm wasting film. Yeah, I'm just trying to formulate my thoughts. See, I'm not.
Why aren't you just busy at your desk?
I'm busy at my
Just
desk.
mention anything about teamwork that we've worked with.
Okay.
It's so fun at that.
I know.
The lights do really well.
Do they really?
Bring up the color and the kids. Oh, you want me to go away?
In my job in the methods group in service costs. John, I don't know if I want to do this really. I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm not up for it.
Right now? Excuse me. I think,
Engineering. Cut that.
Go ahead.
Grab that. You're wasting a lot of tape. Product team for 911 service will be. Cut that out too. I need a specific script here. Maybe you should stop. I need to obtain from other personnel. No. I don't want to say that. Other people within the company.
Now listen, motherfucker. One thing that you don't seem to understand. I noticed that you're using this knife prepared to administer camping on that institution while I was doing your work for you. That's because you don't understand the issue. Now, if you understood the issue.
These guys are naturals, aren't they?
And,
Hey.
And I think I'm tired of having my first load do all your work. do you actually have one?
Hey, this is good. Kerry, why don't you come around?
Well, being my bastard son, the leakers out of my group, right?
Told him what's around, John.
So I got to play it straight. Well, we've got to make up our minds whether we're just leakers or just leakers period.
And as far as that network is concerned, when get out of here. I think the most important part of this job is the use of computer tools. It makes your job so much easier. This $10,000 monstrosity is great. It plays games. I've got most of my games on here. I can check the stock market. I don't use it for anything else, just stock market. But it's great. It makes all kinds of noise. It does that. It annoys Carla. That's its prime objective. Is this machine will annoy Carla. And when I need a number fast, I go to my service cost dice. Look at that, 4. A factor of 4. I'm done. It's great. These automatic tools, I couldn't live without them. I can't live out my Sanka. This commercial has been brought to you by Sanka.
Take you down. I'm doing a study. Can I borrow your dice?
Sure. Right here. They should be accurate to last month.
Okay, thank you.
Basically, and I guess I'm on what they call the summit team for Wisconsin Bell. They involve this is kind of getting screwed up, but what the heck?
Start over, clarify something.
Then makes you nervous and people yell at you once in a while, but we love this business.
If you read this, you'll know everything.
Really?
All the secrets of the universe are contained on this 8.5 by 11 page.
I thought there was a reason.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah. That's kind of neat. Automatic zoom, huh? And you got a battery pack right in there?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, and you're also on video.
Huh? No, it's not on.
It's on. I just turned it on.
The light isn't on.
Yeah, it is. I put something over it so you wouldn't see that it was on.
Oh, sure enough. Yeah.
It is apparent that there will be an ever increasing need well, because some of the parts, the total is a good deal more as we move into the latter part of the 90s with all of the issues that what more can I say?
It's all good.